What's it called? Corona!
I wanna run away, get away from this mess. My head's going round, just thinking of nothing.
Hey, welcome to the WOAFM99 radio show. We've got a very special show for you today because we've got Aldrich Benson in the house all the way from Seattle. Now, Aldrich Benson are a duo. You've been listening to their song Be The One, which is doing really well, by the way, on Spotify, on radio, terrestrial radio stations, and all the WOA partners basically are supporting Be The One by Aldrich Benson, because that song truly is one of the best songs I've heard this season. It's got a lot, well, to me at least, because I've got, it's got all these world elements, and I just love sort of fusing Western music with Eastern influences. And Aldrich and Benson, they're a duo. Michael Aldrich and Bob Benson have done that just fantastically with this song. And they're on the show today, so they're going to be chatting with me, and we're going to be talking about their song, their upcoming album, lots of stuff going on with Aldrich Benson. So I'll leave that for later, because in the middle of the show, they're coming in live to talk about Be The One and their upcoming stuff. So we've got a couple of songs by Aldrich Benson on the show today. But without further ado, let me introduce to you the certified indie songs of the week. Okay, when I say indie, I mean independent. We'll be talking about that on the interview today as well, so you'll know what I mean by that. All right, here we go. The certified indie songs of the week for this week are To Be Free by the Interim Worship Band. Now, the Interim Worship Band were discovered by WOA during our Christmas programming. They're just a great band. I mean, I don't know how big they are, like as in a number of people within the band, but it sounds like a big band, like a lot of members. But guys, if you're listening in, email me, let me know more about the Interim Worship Band, because I'm loving what you guys are doing, okay? So we kicked the show off with the Interim Worship Band, and we're hoping to hear more music from these guys, followed by Wanna Leave by Ty Griff. Again, another fantastic song. We've got a mix of genres today, okay? So we have sort of like pop, and then we've got a lot of EDM or R&B and rock and country, Americana, world from Aldrich Benson, lots of stuff. So I'm not gonna sort of give my 2 bits about each song. I want you guys to listen in and let us know what you like, because anyways, when you really like a song, you guys go on Spotify and then start streaming it a lot. And that's the great thing about the WOAFM99 radio show and our listeners. These are the biggest fans I know of independent music, and I'm so proud to be hosting this wonderful show. So Wanna Leave by Ty Griff comes in at number 2, followed by the High Plains Drifters. Now, these guys have been with WOA for a while. We play a lot of their music. They've been featured on a lot of our compilations. Speaking of compilations, our iTunes and Amazon #1 compilation series, Goa Chill Out Zone, will be releasing in a couple of weeks. We've got some amazing bands in there, including, I believe, High Plains Drifters as well, with another song. But today we're featuring one of their new songs called He Reminds Me of You. So check that out. These guys do a lot of sort of like Americana, sort of AAA, that's what they focus on, AAA, AAA, in terms of radio genre. They put in a lot of effort in their production. I really like that when independent musicians go all out. Don't make it a hobby, make it your life. I mean, that's the only way you're going to find success in this industry. After High Plains Drifters, we've got Be The One by Aldrich Benson, the song that has really taken them to the international level. This song is now starting to see some push on the charts as well, because of all the WOA listeners, I believe. So the song is doing really well. And then we also have Feel You, one of their new songs from their upcoming album, Vortex Riders. Okay, we were talking about that on the interview. Don't miss it, okay? Stick around for that interview. After Feel You by Aldrich Benson, we've got Mechanic of the Hudson. I really like the name of that song. And it's by an artist called Reeya Banerjee. Now, she's a singer-songwriter. It's very pop, and it's got a very produced sort of sound. I quite like it. So give it a listen. Tell me what you think about Reeya Banerjee. I believe we played a song by Reeya Banerjee a while back, if I'm not mistaken, but I can't really remember. So if you want to, listen to all our archives and all the shows that we have had, this is season 24. So we've got so many amazing episodes and amazing songs on Spotify, Audible. Just look for WOAFM99 radio show with Oliver Sean, and you can get the entire archive. going back years and years and years. Okay, it's fantastic. If you can't find the ones going back really, really, right at the back, like 2008 and stuff, if you want to go back there and listen to how the show started, you can always go to podbean.com or PRX, which distributes our show to public radio around the world. Okay, so we've got a lot of support for the WOAFM99 radio show, from terrestrial radio, internet radio, podcasts, hosts, and everybody, curators on Spotify. So it's really good for independent musicians to be on the show. Speaking of that, if you want to send in your music, you can send it for free on Music X-Ray. You might have a fee there, but that's between you and Music X-Ray. So you can do that. Just go to Music X-Ray and look for WOAFM99. You can submit over there. Or you can do priority submissions on WOAFM99.com. You get a turnaround. It's for consideration. It's not that you submit and you get on the show. You have to submit it. The producers listen, and then we take a call if you're a good fit or not. And but if you do priority submissions, 24 hours and you'll know exactly where you stand. Okay, so do that if you really want to be on the show. If you've got a song releasing, if you're looking to get a lot of support from fans around the world, this is the place to do it. WOAFM99. After Reeya Banerjee, we've got Dodge by an artist called Theodosius. I really like that name, Theodosius. Dodge. It's a really good song. He's done a great job on this. It's kind of like R&B-ish, I think. That's what I would term it as. Let me know again what you think about each and every song on today's show. Then we've got Till You're in My Arms Again by Joy Adams featuring Gary Farmer. Now, Gary Farmer has been on our show before, but this is a song I think he sent in, which is sung by Joy Adams. It is a fantastic song. It's a folk sort of Americana, country-ish feel to it. I quite like this kind of music, so there's like a divide between for country music, I suppose. There are some people who love it, some people who hate it, and then there are some people who are on the fence. They don't know if they like it or not. I think secretly they do like it, and they just don't want to say it because it doesn't sound very cool to all the R&B loving fans. So I'm just saying it out loud. Okay, cool. And last but not least, we've got Diamonds in the Hood by Howard Valentine. Now again, R&B, sort of Motown, funk, that kind of stuff that Howard does. And he ends the show for us today. I'm hoping you enjoy the show today. We've got some great songs, some great artists, and a very, very special interview. We're also talking about GAS, okay, which is Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Let me say that out loud. It's not gas, it's Gear Acquisition Syndrome. Now, that's a new podcast I'm starting very soon, where I'm going to be talking to a lot of musicians and friends and bikers about their gear acquisition syndrome problem. Okay, now it's a problem we don't want to let go of. We want to keep it going. We want to keep buying those guitars and those motorbikes and things like that. So I'm inviting guests to talk about their gear acquisition syndrome. It's called Oliver Sean's GAS. Okay, that's the name of the podcast. And GAS means gear acquisition syndrome. And today I touch upon that subject with Aldrich Benson. So be sure to stay tuned for that interview. It's great fun. That's it for now. I hope you enjoy the show. Oliver Sean signing out. Have a great day.
Talk about the vision, justice I can't see. Some still stand for freedom, just like you and me. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I can only imagine what it's like to be free, to be free.
She reminds me of you.
It's not the way that you do.
There's nothing I can do.
It's not the way that you do.
She reminds me of you. Way up high.
It's not the way that you do.
It's all the things that you do. Way up high.
It's not the way that you do.
She reminds me of you. Way up high.
It's not the way that you do.
There's nothing I can do. Way up high.
It's not the way that you do. He reminds me of you.
The sea is growing, new life blooms underground. I'm like the seedling, don't know that I'm around. Sit and watch your dreams flower. I love to help them grow. I could be the one
Right, folks, so I said I'm going to have a very special guest on the show today, and it's Aldrich Benson. No, it's not one guy, it's two guys. It's Michael Aldrich and Bob Benson. Hey, guys, how you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Doing great.
Good to hear from you.
Right, so we've got both Bob and Michael from Aldrich Benson joining us today. Be the One, that's your single that's making quite a bit of a buzz. So, guys, tell us more about Be the One. I've got a few Billboard chart hits on the world music charts, right? So when I heard Be the One, I zoned in on the song because of the way you've sort of fused modern, or rather Western sounds with very authentic world music, I should say, which includes Indian ragas and sitar and tablas. So tell me more, please. Everybody wants to know more about this song, guys. Go on.
Well, the song actually went through multiple versions. It started out as kind of a folk rock thing. I wrote it about my wife.
Okay.
And then it just never really gelled. Mike never liked it.
Okay.
And then, so we recorded multiple versions of it, and then this latest version, kind of the bass music was there, and I started just messing around with the harmonic minor scale,
okay,
on the violin, and all of a sudden, I just kind of heard the whole Eastern thing, and then the song just took off from there.
Right.
And they handed it to Mike, who was the master lyricist, and Mike, what did you do with that one?
Well, I wrote some lyrics that made some sense, that's for sure. No, we had a great time with it. But this is how Bob and I have always done our business. We've known each other for years and years. But we're very symbiotic. I mean, if I bring a full song, I know Bob's going to be able to add his special magic to it. Conversely, in this particular song, it was a Bob song, and I was allowed to do a lot of production work and the lyrics. So I got my chops in.
Were there any live instrumentation done for the song? Like, did you bring in live musicians to add in, say, for example, the Indian ragas? Were they samples or were they live singers?
All the drums were samples.
Okay.
The keyboards, guitars, bass, that was all live.
Right. And what about those Indian elements that were added in, those world elements?
That is me on the keyboard.
That's phenomenal. I mean, seriously, that was really, really good.
That's why we keep them around.
Does it appear on an Aldrich Benson album?
Yes, it does. I mean, after all these years of being together, we finally decided to put an LP together, and it's called Intelligent Music. You can find that on our website, aldrichbenson.com, as well as the social media.
Is each song different? Because debut albums, through my experience, most artists' debut albums are a mix of so many different genres because they're trying to find themselves. So have you guys got different genres on that album, or have you stuck to like a very professional sort of single sort of feel?
No, that's one thing that Mike and I have always done. We don't really have a style.
Okay.
So we kind of write. Currently, we're working on a salsa song.
Wow. Okay.
That,
that's good.
And I'm working on a classical. I just did a waltz for my daughter's wedding, and
wow.
I'm working on the first two movements of a concerto.
Nice.
So we're all over the place.
And I'm still writing. We still have our rock roots. So
yeah.
We just basically write what our muse kind of directs us to do.
Speaking of rock roots, all us rock guitar players love that Come Together, by the Beatles. I can hear that so clearly on that song. Did that influence you at all?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, there you
I
go.
love that.
Yeah.
That same bass line in the Taxman Come Together.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
just love that.
It is just such an amazing riff, and I was so glad that it appeared in a song that is so different from that song. So it's not like sounds like that, like Come Together. It's a completely different track, but it's got those elements.
Well, see, that bass line was from one of the earlier versions,
right,
before it kind of took an Eastern turn to the right.
Okay, I think that's what makes your world fusion very interesting to a lot of listeners, because it's a modern sort of rock or pop song, and you just add in the elements to enhance the song rather than make it an Eastern song, which I think is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so important to bring in
exactly
a wider listenership, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Right, guys. So tell me more about why Aldrich Benson and why not Aldrich and Benson.
Well, we kind of talked about that this morning because we kind of realized the same sort of thing.
Right.
I think over time, because, like I say, we kind of are hand in glove with each other in terms of our creative bent, if you will. And so, after a while, it just became Aldrich Benson. I mean, there's synonymous of either side. So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just dropped the "and"
So I think
because we kind of morphed into the same creative head.
Right.
Both of our brains together almost makes one person.
got it, because once you guys, I think this music is really going to take you guys to the next level with WOA sort of supporting this single and hopefully the album as well. A lot of people are going to want to know if that's a solo artist or a duo, and you're going to have to keep telling them that's a duo. Put a tagline underneath it just goes "and," so people know what that is.
We always get a laugh when we get, "Hi, Aldrich," or
Yeah, hi Aldrich, hi Benson.
But you're
yeah.
right. We should stop doing that.
Yeah, or put a hyphen "and" on top. That might actually work. So, what are you guys?
Absolutely.
What are you guys working on now?
We got a couple of things we're working on. We had mentioned that we're working on a salsa song.
Okay.
It has, the classic, Latin horns and Latin
Right.
piano.
Right.
And it's a song that Michael wrote that is a good toe tapper, kind of a Ricky Martin kind of vibe. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just,
Latin pop or Latin jazz?
Absolutely.
Or Latin jazz? Has it got jazz elements as well?
well, it's definitely a lot of horn section.
Right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, real toe tapper kind of thing.
Like a big band feel to the whole Latin.
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
very cool.
Yep.
I wanted to ask, what instruments do you play? Like Michael, what do you play? And Bob, what do you play? Like, do you specialize in a certain instrument when you're working together?
Yeah, I started on an acoustic 12-string. That was my first guitar, believe it or
nice.
not. But I've stayed with the acoustic. I love writing songs acoustically, and then they transform based on the whim of the Bob and I and the song and the production ideas. But mine mostly is just acoustic guitar. I play little rhythms, but that's about it.
Nice. And Bob?
Well, I started out, in a third grade. I got my first guitar. So my mom was a supporting mother. But then I went through music theory and
Yeah.
so Be the One. I play all those instruments on Be the One.
Wow, that's awesome. So I see a big keyboard behind you. So is that one of your main instruments then?
Yeah, I think I started out as a guitarist, and now I just love the keyboard with all the samples.
Do you all have like an in-house recording studio for all your music, or do you all go to a different studio?
We're sitting in the room where Be the One was recorded.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Everything's DAW.
Yeah.
Everything's DAW.
So you don't really go to another studio to record your vocals or anything like that.
We literally are in this bedroom.
Nice. And what about?
And Mike basically has the same studio set up at his house. He lives
Great.
out on the coast
Right.
in a city called Port Angeles. So we'll go back and forth. We'll work over there. We'll work over here.
Oh, how far are you guys from each other then?
It's about a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
Jeez, how do you guys?
And the bigger problem is there's water between us. You have to take a ferry.
Yeah,
Oh my
take a
God!
breath.
So how do you manage? So does Michael come over, stay for a while? You go there, stay for a while?
Yeah, we try to cram it into, a 24-hour period.
Right.
Or whenever we both start to hate each other and start fisticuffing.
And that typically starts after like the first hour. I've got him pinned to the ground and I'm pummeling him.
Yeah, okay, this is another important, fantastic thing to talk about because I've done this a lot with artists that live. Like I work with a lot of musicians from my Grammy team. We're all Grammy voting members and stuff, and they all live in America.
Mm-hmm.
There was an album that we recorded during COVID, which, by the way, I must tell you, hit the blues album chart at number 8. Okay, so I'm very, very proud of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
However,
Nice.
none of us met each other when we were recording. Not once. Because we were obviously COVID, different
Isn't that
countries, and each one was in the East Coast, West Coast, Pacific side, whatever. In America, you've got so many different coasts, so they were all over the place. And so I managed to sort of work with them completely remotely. Do you all ever do that?
Never.
This is the first time we've come back and tried to use Skype. So
What about during COVID? What did you guys do then?
Well, that's actually when we recorded the tracks for our record, was pretty much during that period. Yeah, we would still go to each other's places.
Super. Okay.
COVID be damned.
You do have some fans now. I've got some emails in and some calls in from listeners going, Who is that artist, Aldrich Benson? Obviously, then I had to put you guys back on the show and tell everybody that you guys are all one guy. But they go, when it started out, we thought it was going to be this, fusion sort of thing. And then it just went into your kind of music, which is a pop or rock song with stuff. And they just really, really enjoy it in the UK, which is good news for you guys, which brings me to my next question. Do you guys tour? Do you all perform? Do you all do live gigs at all?
I'm actually a software developer.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't
I have
matter.
a Zoom meeting in 45 minutes.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, have you considered? Doing gigs?
Well, let's go back to our roots. Were when we first met, we penned our songs, and we just wanted to have exposure. So we'd play at house parties and things like that. We never really got out on doing their thing. So we just kind of did the very organic sort of process. We just loved writing music, the creative process, and then to try to share it and expose whatever music venues we could find.
Super.
Which were parties usually.
So if you did have an opportunity to go on tour, would you do it?
We'd certainly discuss it.
Yeah, I'm a performer. I mean, I when I wasn't doing music, I got up on stage and did theatrical stuff. So yeah,
here's something I should put out there. Because I think the song and you guys as an artist are really picking up now in the UK. It's still early days, but I do see that. I'm pretty good at my what's that, like Nostradamus? I go, that band's going to be good. But what if you were invited to come to the UK to perform on the W.O.A. summer tour? Would you come?
I would.
Yeah,
I put my hand up.
But
that would just be Aldrich. They'll be like, where's the Benson part?
That's for you to decide, big boy.
So I'm just saying that because, if you guys are performers, I could put in a word, get you guys in. That'll be wonderful. It's because this year we're trying to bring in very different genres, and I think you guys would be a great fit, even if it's just one song that you go up and do. But obviously it's thousands of miles away, but it's not that far. It's just across the pond, as they say.
Across the pond.
Yep. I've had a chance to come over there several times.
Have you? Oh, really? Have you performed in the UK, Michael?
No, I had a girlfriend who lived in Reading, so.
Oh, did you?
Went there several times.
Reading's not far from where I'm talking to you from right now. I'm in Leicestershire, which is around an hour from Reading. Yeah, that's not too far. Aside from the Latin song, are you guys working on another album, or you're just taking it one song at a time?
Well, we work at one song at a time. We figured we kind of have two songs towards our new record.
Right.
Our last thing we released is a song called "Feel You" that we just think is great. Just kind of building them as we build them.
And we have quite a catalog over the course of time. I mean, between Bob and I, we've penned probably a couple hundred songs. So, you plumb the depths and see what, pops up.
Right.
Certainly what we played 20 years ago can be, modernized, but it's still Aldrich Benson, which is what we want to preserve, right?
Fantastic. So if you did come up with, we need to release an album soon to ride on the success of, say, Be the One, you have enough material then to really make another album if required.
Absolutely.
Intelligent Music, the album. Tell me more about that album. I'm quite intrigued about the name, Intelligent Music.
Well, Mike, what do you say about that name?
When we sat down and listened to what we were doing and tried to, compare it with what was out there, we realized that we had some music that sometimes requires people to listen, actually hear the lyrics. Yeah. And so it's a little nod to those who can still remember that, there's a story, there are lyrics that have some depth to them, perhaps. So it was kind of a nod to that.
Oh, fantastic. That's very good. It's almost like comedy, for example. You've got your physical comedy, and then you've got the intelligent comedy, but you got to listen to what the guy is saying, But that also brings me to my rant about the major labels and the independent music, where intelligent music is being made by independent artists, right? And the major labels block it as much as they can. Like, for example, all the major radio in America, this is only America though, in America, every major radio station is either owned by Sony or Universal. And if you're not signed to one of those bands, you never get on that radio. Thankfully, we've got college radio and community radio that now supports independent music so much, where you guys will be also pushed, by the way. So that's really good news. But America is this... I think that's now spreading to the other parts of the world. For example, South America now, we still have strong terrestrial radio support for our independent artists, including Aldrich Benson. But very soon, I believe, that's going to be taken over as well, and then we'll be stuck to college radio and community radio. And we need to stop that. We need to get
Wow, you
fans.
sure?
Yeah, because fans are being drip-fed whatever the major labels want you to listen to. Thankfully, Spotify and thankfully companies like W.O.A. are bringing to the forefront intelligent music. I like that name.
Nice.
I'm going to keep talking about intelligent music now. Yeah, go on, Michael.
Yeah, I think it's a very limited. It's a very limited feed, like you say, that we're being drip fed. I just recently learned about top lining, where you start to realize that these people who are top lining only go to maybe a handful of music supervisors who are linked in, like with the Sonys. So you're only going to get what they want you to hear.
Absolutely.
And so, that to us was really kind of an affront to just what music is about, which is no boundaries and go where it goes.
Exactly, and that's something else that is a big thing right now, a big topic in the Grammys. I'm a member of the Grammys. I've been a member for 12 years now as a voting member. So we've got certain things that we can sort of propose, and so now finally independent artists are being recognized, and we are not allowing the majors to take over certain genres, for example. Like, for example, indie, right? That was a coined phrase for us. For you guys, for me, But now even the majors have taken that away as well. Green Day is now supposed to be indie. I mean, what sense does that make? So, so now we have to stick to the term going independent, not indie, because now indie is a major label genre. So it's so messed up. I'll tell you, it's so messed up. But I'm
that is messed up.
Yeah, it totally is. But I'm so glad that. Independent artists now, through W.O.A. and other labels like ours, are now giving a run for their money to the major labels, rather than the artists really have nothing to do with it, but the major labels. For example, we've got so many W.O.A. artists now that have hit the Billboard charts alongside major label artists, and the major labels are turning around going, how the hell is that happening now? And they're now trying to control those things as well, which they can't, thankfully. But it also depends on independent musicians who are taking their music so seriously. It's not a hobby anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a hobby. It's a full-time thing for the independent artist, and you guys are doing that. With him, I can hear the quality, which is fantastic, and the fact that you guys do it in a bedroom and give a run to the major labels are spending millions in a studio. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. Really good. So
absolutely,
that is pretty funny.
Sorry about my rant. I love doing this during our interviews. That's my pet peeve. So
that's right.
There's another thing that.
Well, I just wanted to quickly just say, just how thankful we are that someone like you would actually just appreciate what we're just doing. We've been doing this forever. We're not ever going to change.
But Bob,
and
that's
all
the
of a sudden
thing.
here someone comes along and goes, "Wow, I get it."
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's so many.
That's all we've been looking for.
There's so many producers like me who, Billboard charting producers, Grammy-winning producers, who actually look for good music rather than who they're signed for, how many millions have been spent behind those guys. And for example, or my team, I tell them very specifically, don't look at the glamour, look at the quality of the music, look at the intelligence in the music, intelligent music, guys.
There you go.
I'm going to keep going with that phrase. I love it. It's really cool. So another thing I wanted to talk about was there's this new podcast I'm starting for my fans, right? My musician friends and my motorbiking friends. I'm a Harley guy, so it's called Oliver Sean's Gas, right? But gas means gear acquisition syndrome. Okay, gear acquisition syndrome, because we buy because. If you come into my studio or my house, I've got 50 guitars. There's no place for anything else. Or you go to the garage, there are like 5 Harley Davidsons. There's nothing else. There's no place for anything else. But that's a serious problem. That's called gear acquisition syndrome. And I love talking to people who've got that and don't want to change, who don't want to recover from the gear acquisition syndrome. So since you guys have a bedroom studio, are you guys excited about gear or guitars or things like that? Is that something that flows with you guys as well?
Well, Mike, how many guitars do you have?
I have 8.
Oh, there you go. You're one of the group then. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I left two in Mexico with a friend because I didn't want to have to drag them on the plane. So
Okay.
yeah, so I guess technically I have 10.
Oh, Michael, so give us a lowdown
So
on the
I
guitars.
have 3 guitars.
You got 3 guitars, Bob. Okay, and keyboards, and yeah, I've seen a lovely. What keyboard is that?
It is a Roland
And
RD 300.
Okay.
That's the only keyboard I have.
I just use a MIDI keyboard anyways through the Mac, so you can get all the sounds done there.
Yep.
But what kind of DAWs do you use? Do you use the Logic?
So
Do you
I use
Pro Tools?
PreSonus.
PreSonus,
Yeah,
right.
PreSonus Studio One.
Okay, great. And what kind of audio interfaces
Yeah,
do you use?
I have a PreSonus Studio 68C.
Oh, great.
And
So-
typically we have either one mic or one guitar going at a time.
Tell me more about the guitars, Michael.
Well, I've got an anniversary edition 1980 Ovation. I've just purchased from Czechoslovakia a Fuchs.
Dude,
a
Ovation.
guitar.
You
Yeah.
just said the magic
Yeah.
word. Your anniversary
Nice.
edition. I'm excited to learn more about that one.
Yep, 1980. Kind of looks like a orange starburst kind of
Yeah.
top, but I'll tell you what, I've had this thing. It's a tank. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got all these array of guitars, and as you would know, you'd pick one up and you kind of, this is what I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
But that thing, I can just beat the crap out of it, and
Yeah.
it still sounds great.
That's the thing about
It's
Ovation.
just a solid
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Is it a deep
Yeah.
back or
And-
a shallow body, or what is it?
No, it's the bigger parabolic back.
okay,
Yeah,
right.
it's not it's not the thin.
Yeah, the one that won't sit on your lap. 'cause
Yeah.
it
Oh,
rolls
yeah.
off.
Slides off.
Right. And what else? Go on, Michael.
Yeah.
Aside from the Ovation, you said a Czechoslovakian something.
I've got out of the Czech Republic. There's a company that's putting out some really great guitars. It's called Furch, Furch.
Okay.
And they're rivaling Taylor and Martin in terms of their top end.
Wow.
I've got a Martin 12 string.
Nice.
I've got a couple.
With your Yamaha electric.
My Yamaha electric, yeah, the CS 400, which a lot of people who have them say it plays like a Strat.
Yeah.
And it does. It just rips.
Right.
So, and I got a couple of, I've got a 3/4 guitar that is a Yamaha.
And we have our traveling guitars.
Traveling guitars.
Oh, dear.
We've been known to be in the car, and Bob driving and me sitting in the passenger seat with a little half guitar
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
Playing songs all the way from Oklahoma to Seattle.
Oh, guys, you know what? I
So-
was in Canada recently, and we filmed a video for. Oh, you should go check it out for Silent Stranger, Richard Simpson, who used to have a prog rock band back in the 80s, and now he does what you guys do. He writes beautiful songs and he just records them. And I went to Canada, filmed his music video called "Damsel in Distress." Check it out, Bob. You're gonna love it. So we should do a video of you guys in a car driving from Seattle to Oklahoma. Oh my God, man, that would be so good.
It was a trip.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Nice. So it's a mix
was
of
fun.
acoustic guitars and electric guitars. Then is what you guys, what Michael has. What about Bob? Bob, what are the guitars you've
Yeah.
got?
I recently bought a Taylor from Michael.
Oh yeah.
He was trying to get rid of some.
Yeah.
So I have a Taylor 6-string. I have a Takamine 12-string.
Nice.
I have an Ibanez solid body
Okay.
that is the guitar on Be the One.
Okay.
And then I have another guitar that I bought for one of my daughters. I don't remember now what it is, but
Mitchell.
it sits in a spare bedroom here.
Okay. Okay. Now you're talking to a gearhead, guitar gearhead. So when you just tell me a Taylor 6-string, that's not going to do. You got to tell me what model it is. Now I'm like, I want to see
Well,
the
here,
model.
let's grab it. It's right here.
Oh, there you go. Cool. Oh, that looks beautiful. I've got a few
got
Taylors,
that.
which is why I'm. Is that a 310? Is that a 310, or is that a 610?
I think it's a 214.
214.
It's a 214
Right.
CE.
CE concert.
C,
yeah.
which is great, lovely, nice. I love Taylor guitars. It's one of my. It's got a thinner sound when you don't plug it in, but it's just made them. It's like the most
Yes.
beautiful looking guitars they make. It's just amazing, right,
Yeah.
guys? So
Very playable.
the reason I brought in the topic of gas, like gear acquisition syndrome, is we have a lot of listeners who are musicians, who love listening to our show, finding out what other musicians are using in the studio, what kind of guitars, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's going to really work out well
Sure.
on our show today. Right, guys? So you've got an official website, don't you? Oh, you
Yeah,
wrote
aldrichbenson.com.
Well, I was just going to say we have two of our songs that we've just put out for teasers for our second album. Yeah, the second album is called Vortex Riders, and Be the One was on our first one, but the two that we have out right now are just kind of precursor to getting another 5 or 6 put out the second album.
So the 2 songs on the new album, are they released already, or they're just on the website?
They're released.
Okay.
Feel You, I think, is a song that you would dig. It's
Okay.
definitely a little more ethereal.
Nice.
Yeah, sounds great. I dig it.
Okay. So I'll tell you what we're going to do today. What's the name of the new album again? Vortex Riders.
As in riding the vortex.
Riding. Got it. I thought you were talking about writing.
Writing.
So, got it. So
Writing.
Vortex
Yes.
Riders. Okay, got it. So we're going to play Feel You from your upcoming new album, Vortex Riders. We'll play that as soon as we finish our interview. And before the interview, we just played my favorite new song on our WOAFM99 Season 23, which is Be the One, which you guys are going to hear a lot on my show, I think. And Feel You coming up very soon. So Michael and Benson, Aldrich Benson, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having us. Thank you very much for all the support.
What a pleasure.
It's been great chatting, and I'm hoping to see you guys when I'm on tour next in America. You know, I haven't performed in Seattle yet. You know, I've done LA, I've done different parts of America, but not Seattle. I think I need to come from one rainy place to another rainy place and just feel at home.
Absolutely.
And feel at home.
Well, I am a chef as well, so we'll put you up here at the house and we'll feed you well.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
There you go.
You know what? There's one question I didn't ask you guys before we go. We should end on that note, I think. You know, most of us musicians have a secret talent aside from our music. So now we know Bob's secret talent is he's a chef, which is cool, right? Any specific kind of cuisine or anything?
No, I enjoy it all.
Okay, great. So I will firsthand give a review on your food when I'm in Seattle next to all our listeners back in the UK.
Absolutely.
Right. But Michael, what's your secret talent?
Secret talent. I'm known as, in my town, I'm known as the assassin because I go up to the college and... Oh, no, wait a minute.
Okay, maybe we don't want to bring that up, Michael.
Jesus, bro, that's something you need to keep. That's something you need to keep secret, man.
Keep that on the down low, man.
Let's contextualize this. For a moment.
Okay.
I'm called the assassin because I can hit 3-point shots like Steph Curry can in NBA basketball.
Oh my God,
I have this weird talent to be able to shoot from way far away from the rim.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, calm down, listeners. He's not a real assassin. Okay? It's okay. Take it easy. We didn't just get the FBI involved.
Well, but we're not going to talk about that.
It was a previous life, and we've gotten past that.
Oh my God, that was really good. I love that one. Right, on that note, folks, the assassin and the chef are going to say goodbye to us. Aldrich Benson.
That's our third album.
Right, folks, so on that note, Aldrich and Benson, I should say, as a tagline, are going to say goodbye to us, the chef and the assassin. Thanks, guys, for being on the show.
Hey, thank you, man.
Thanks,
and here is Feel You from their upcoming album, Vortex Riders.
Hey, it's me. I just want to leave another message and let you know that I'm here for you. I want to help you build some bridges. And you're right, I don't know where you are in your life right now, except to say, take a look around you. Take a deep breath. The world is your reflection.
You can see it in the mirror. You can see it on your face. You can see me getting nearer to your hiding place. Like a ghost, you left no footprints in the present or the past. I just pray for one last glimpse, your face from behind your mask. I feel you future is let go of the past. But I feel you, feel you.
Away from me, your shadow leaves a mark that only I can see. Why's that? I don't know. Let me take a guess. Is it because I was the only one who knew you were such a mess? They say the issues you don't face today will come back to find you in some other way. And death, it's not the worst thing you'll face in this life. It's what dies inside while you're still alive. Feel you, feel you, feel you.
See it on your face. The weight of just one tear bring you from your hiding place.
I couldn't see you walking away from me. Your shadow leaves a mark that only I can see. Why's that? I don't know. Let me take a guess. Is it because I was the only one who knew you were such a mess? They say the issues you will face today will come back to find you in some other way. Death, it's not the worst thing you'll face in this life. It's what dies inside while you're still alive. Still alive. Still alive. Still alive.
Bottle of cheap gin, and now I'm melting in the Hudson. Body feels like wool. A long hand reaches out. He twists the bone as he pulls. I should move to New York City, or maybe Poughkeepsie. There's bound to be somebody who's waiting there for me. New place Chattanooga or just west of White Creek, there's bound to be somebody who's waiting there for me. Dust. Hold on to what you find. Please don't let go. And I'm closing in on something, a thing that's kept me blind, a feeling under pressure, an ice pick in my mind, nowhere to go.
Let me fly. Yeah. If you're not first, then you last. That's what them Dodgers do. Yeah. Flying doing 100 miles an hour in my Hellcat. More of 60 more behind me. You could bet that. Floating 0 to 100 on this highway, screaming out, fuck a foreign. This is big dog muscle car. I can hear the roll calling, engine roaring, cannon roar. Feeling the force of it, pulling different type of story. Living in the moment. I'm pushing 800 horses. I'm flooring. I'm soaring. Yeah. And I go so high. That's what these Dodgers do. America, me, hitting the street, darting past traffic in this black Matic. Exterior, bloody red interior. Challenger, it's a challenger every light. Let's see who next to me. I got a charger to the street. Tire particle, it's all you gon' see. Kids putting light, that's my car. While I'm smoking a cigar, I'm wrapped up in this rapture. Tapping the gas, hitting the brakes, doing donuts in the rain, hitting the window, no pain. Lose myself when I drive. This is my high, can't deny. Feeling good inside when I ride. Just seeing still a vibe from another side. My engine burn, can't know it. On the road that I'm on, muscle bound car, eye candy in the city. Every day feel like my past. If you not first and last, you could kiss my whole ass. Let me fly. Yeah. If you're not first, you last. That's what them Dodgers do. Yeah.
Every day seems a lifetime without you. I can't wait to see your smiling face. I miss all the crazy things that we used to do. Most of all, I miss your warm embrace. Every lonely waking now that you're not with me. I'm counting down the minutes till you're home. I'll hold you in my heart till I can hold you once again. And it will be just like the first time when we were young and fancy free. Oh, how I've missed your tender kisses, and to hear you say that you love me, till you're in my arms again. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. I believe that it's true. And while you're away, I wonder, do I cross your mind? Do you miss me the way that I miss you? Every lonely waking now that you're not with me. I'm counting down the minutes till you're home. I'll hold you in my heart till I can hold you once again. And it will be just like the first time when we were young and fancy free. Oh, how I've missed your tender kisses, and to hear you say that you love me, till you're in my arms again. And to hear you say
matter my name, no matter where I go or what I do. There she is again.